All right, number 13, last one here. So we'll go ahead, we have different altitude training right here. So basically, we have the major three right here. And then we have some of the things that affects. We got VO2 max, red blood count, volume, and then total HB, so total hemoglobin. So let's see right here. First of all, live high, train high. Like people here in Gunnison, right? Well, first of all, VO2 max, yeah, living high and training high works well. Increases in VO2 max from coming straight from sea level to altitude over time of training, living high and training high. Yes, increases. Red blood counts volume, yeah, it certainly does that as well. Red blood volume increases over time. And then hematocrit, or we should say hemoglobin in this case, yeah, checks off all three. Well, how about low, live high, train low? Awesome. VO2 max, yeah, 5% increase has been seen. Red blood count volume increase, yes, very much so. And total, yes, 10% increase has been seen. So those are all good. Now let's talk about this. Live low, train high, or basically intermittent hypoxia training. Talk about a little bit in class. People have basically where they put on masks and they are trained in hypoxic conditions. Well, here's the problem with that. You don't get enough time. Like, will you have a VO2 max increase? Yeah, you will, because you're training, right? You're training. So training itself will increase VO2 max over time. But are you going to affect some of these? How about red blood count volume? No. It's not enough exposure time. If you're only doing intermittent hypoxia training, you're not going to train as long enough to have some of these. Same thing right here, total, like hematocrit and hemoglobin, neither, right? So main thing to think about here is really these two. Data has been shown on both of these to work. It's not really that big of a difference. If you have to train, if you have to live high to train high, it's great, like here in Gunnison. If you live high and you have the ability to go train low, go do it, right? Depends on your event, right? What you're doing, what you're training to do. Now, second part of that question about, well, what are you going to do? How would I talk to somebody who wants to do this? How are they going to successfully compete at sea level? Well, honestly, it's very simple. There's a lot to it. It is very debated. It's hard to say some of the details, but the main thing at the end of the day is you're getting your training in. You're not overdoing yourself. That's a big one. You don't want to train, because you think about it, when you're going to lower altitude, you're going to have basically the air resistance will be less and your oxygen intake will be better. But with that increased resistance, your muscles aren't going to be ready for that. So really the best thing to do is train long distance. Long distance is great, right? Long distance kind of takes out some of those problems. Shorter distance is tough, right? So, but the big thing is sleep and nutrition and training. Just like any form of these. Any form of training, if it comes to weightlifting, it comes to running, it comes to anything, getting proper rest, proper nutrition, and proper training is what you need. So overall, recommendations here from exercise scientists would be that living high, training high, or living high, training low is the way to go. That rhymed not on purpose, but yes, that's exactly what you want. You want to either do one of these two things, proper training, proper sleep, proper nutrition, and you are on your way to being great at sea level.